Everyone, welcome. So before I do the intro, I do just want to let you know I'm like seeing some intermittent internet issues. So let's cross our fingers and hope we have no problems. So
Well, it is
just
Cyber Monday.
I know, my goodness.
So that
Everybody's
means,
shopping.
everybody and their dog is on is online right now trying to get the best, cyber deals that they can. So yeah, I would imagine that the internet all over all over the country is running just a
Pretty-
little slow.
Just a tad, which is enough to just annoy me. But okay, just want to let y'all know we'll do the intro and then we'll get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the recap of the Walking Dead universe. We are here every week to discuss the latest episodes. You can catch our recaps anytime on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Subscribe for free in the app of your choice. For those of you joining us live today, thanks for taking time out of your evening to be here. I'm Tamara Ford, and I love a good TV show and a good book, of course. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Recap Pods. If you're into books, you can also find me at Shelf Addiction. Joining me is show co host Lisa. Welcome, Lisa.
Hello, Tamara. Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Orban. I am an author, and I am also the founder of Indies United Publishing House, and I love all things pop culture. If you want to
Yes.
find me online, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Lisa Orban Author.
Great.
So I can't wait to talk about tonight's episodes.
Same. But before we get going, of course, we want to remind you that we would love your participation in this conversation. So if you are listening live on YouTube or Facebook, hit us up in the comment section. If you're catching this on a replay, you can still comment on any platform or by using the Speak Pipe voicemail link in the show notes. So we do want to hear from you and possibly include your comments in upcoming episodes as well. So if you are new here, we are laid back in our review style, right, Lisa?
Absolutely. This is a conversation, not a dissertation.
Exactly. No scene by scene breakdowns here. We jump around. Huge spoiler alert for every show up until this past Sunday's episodes.
That's right. We
So,
don't go ahead. We do not
no.
go ahead.
And
Unlike
this week
Katrina.
it was this week it was
Karina.
especially tempting, let me tell you.
Oh my God. You know,
Yes,
but
it was very tempting.
iron will, man. We have iron will. We have stayed the course. So we can't inadvertently spill any spoilers.
I
So
know. We did good because I'm telling you, I was like, I could probably get away with it. Not. So
well,
I just
and the thing of it is you and I we make predictions, and it's
yes.
not really fair to make a quote unquote prediction if we've
If
already
you've seen it,
watched
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
That's cheating.
it is, and I'm not a cheater. I play by the rules. Anyone
That's
that knows
right. We
me
have
knows I'm a
rules.
rule follower
We have
to a
rules and we
fault.
follow them. Okay.
Yes, we do. Alright, so let's jump on in. Let's talk about, Fear the Walking Dead. We are 1 episode closer to the mid-season finale,
Mhm.
and I thought this episode was wild. I'm like, "Oh my god."
I know. Okay, I gotta tell you. All right, at the very when Strand was like losing it, he's like, "Someone's poisoned me," and my first thought was, "Morgan, did you poison him?" I thought, "No, not
Right.
Morgan. Morgan wouldn't do that."
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah, Morgan would.
Yeah, and that is what, Strand thought. He was like he just totally disregarded Morgan. He totally overlooked him like it
Well,
wasn't a possibility.
okay, the biggest difference between Strand and Morgan, and Strand knows this. Morgan has a moral center. Okay.
Yes.
There's a right, there is a wrong, there are rules that he follows. Um, we all know that, especially if you've watched him over on, The Walking Dead, he has gone through some huge pacifist, cycles where he
Yes.
wouldn't kill anything, nothing, not even the
Mhm.
dead.
Right.
Um, so, it was just really so yeah, I was like and I'm looking at Morgan going, "Well, where is he at exactly right now? Is he feeling particularly vicious?" And I'm like, "No, he's got the
Mm,
baby
yeah.
and nah, he wouldn't do that." And then and then holy shit, he
You
did.
know, and it's true, I agree with you, like and, Erica says in the comments, "Morgan is savage." She is right now,
Yeah.
and I didn't expect it because I didn't get those "I'm crazy" vibes right now, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I really didn't have them.
Well, and it's
So
there was nothing I mean, he was calm. He
yeah,
was
or not crazy, that's
meticulous,
the wrong
you know
word. I mean, you know how when he is, like, about his business and he's
Yeah.
gonna kill people, he has a
Yeah,
different vibe,
right, he wasn't
and
bloodthirsty.
no.
I mean, this
I
was really it was more I hate to say it this way, but pragmatic.
yeah.
I mean, and I don't know that I don't know that Morgan actually I'm not sure that this was premeditated.
I think that because that's one of the questions, right? Was Mo really sick? I think Mo was sick.
Oh, yeah.
She
I think
but
she
I
was.
think that he said, "Well, this is also a great opportunity for me to
I
try something."
like I said, I don't know that it was premeditated, alright? I'm kinda wondering
But who
is
carries that stuff around in their pocket in a little vial? What do you mean? Of course it was.
well, I think it I don't know because knowing Morgan, we have watched him he has been on since the very first episode of The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
alright? And I'm kinda wondering if he went in there with a maybe plan, and I think when he saw that wall of the dead
Mhm.
and and the vibe of the place, I think that's when he decided and I think it was when Morgan's like, this isn't a negotiation, and throwing his weight around and just being a general dick. I think that's when Morgan went, "Yep, we're doing this." Although if I had been him, I would not have put my thumb where the blue stuff would have been. Um,
Yeah, I think that it was premeditated when he was summoned. So, for example, when he went back, when he first came, Morgan
mhm,
was like, kick rocks.
right.
And then after he hated his painting, he's like, get Morgan back here. I feel like when he was summoned back, that is when he said, well, I'm going to bring this along because he
Just
may
in
be a
case.
problem. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing, I'm kinda thinking that he might have brought it with on a just in case, like, maybe Strand didn't wanna let him go, or something like that, but I really think I think what his over the top moment was again, I mean, I think Morgan had the exact same reaction to all those Polaroids of the dead, and that Dwight had,
Mm.
you know? And then you add into it the way that Morgan was basically just jovially telling him, "I'm going to screw you over, and there's nothing you can do because your daughter
Right.
is sick, and
Yeah.
you're gonna do what I want." And I think that was kind of the moment where, because at this point, because he knows that, Straight has been turning away people, and he has been malicious about it.
Which, by the way, that opening scene, as he's getting painted, he's
Mhm.
sitting there, so high and mighty, the phone keeps coming. Intake. He's
Yeah.
like, "This no, 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 no," all week. I'm like, "Dang, he is cold." He
Mhm.
cold as ice. You can hear
And
people pleading on the phone, "But please click." He just hang up on people. Like,
mhm.
"Damn, you
Well,
rude."
and Howard had a point too. He's like, if this is gonna be a surviving colony, we need more people because we need
Mhm,
babies.
mhm.
You can't have a next generation with no babies. Um, and Morgan's very and here's the thing, or not Morgan, Strand, I think here's the thing. He wants to build something that will last his lifetime. I don't think he gives a shit what happens after his lifetime. So he
That's
wants to
fair.
I think he is concentrate I think his focus is on building up something that while he is alive, he can be applauded for, get adulation for, but once he's gone, I mean, Strand's not the kind of person that would do it for pos pros posterity because he
Mhm.
doesn't give a shit, he's not alive,
Mhm.
so I don't think his Howard is looking at long-term stuff, and Strand really I think he's looking somewhat long-term, but not generationally. He's looking, probably I'll live another 20, 30 years. We can make this last for that long." That's
Mhm.
all I think that's really all he cares about. Anything beyond that, what difference does it make to him? He's not gonna be alive.
Mhm. Well,
Um,
I mean, I could see that, although I guess wasn't the point of the painting for people and for generations to come to like fawn over him and remember him for, starting this
I
tower and all of
yes
that?
and no. I think part of it was vanity for people to stare at now.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
You
now
know
too.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think I think he does "Oh, yeah, it's all for posterity, we're doing this for the future," and I don't really think he is. Like I said, even the painting, it's he wants he wants this image of himself to be there even when he can't be there. Does that make sense?
It
For
does yeah, I hear what you're saying, but even I'm not well, he definitely wants to have a look about him in the painting
Mhm,
that only he feels certain people can see.
yeah.
His
Well, and him in
equals can see.
that old military outfit that he has and his saber and the and, the Scotch glass, it's quite the ensemble there.
It's
Um
ridiculous.
I'm waiting for him to start pinning things to his chest, you know, so he could be a real despot, with with all the little bars and bands.
Oh god, and all the rings, the
Yeah,
watch, the rings, the hat, it's all ridiculous. I
it
mean,
is.
honestly.
But I mean, to be a true despot though, you need to have the medals on your chest to prove that what a
Mhm.
badass you are. So I'm almost expecting to see, I don't know, some kind of jewelry or just for all he could I could see him even going and raiding like a military museum so that he could grab some generals, you know, um bars from his chest.
I mean, no
And
doubt. I'm sure when he sends people out for things, he definitely has them on the look for stuff like that. No
mhm.
doubt about it.
Oh, and I mean, and
Yeah.
that he does because, there's even the conversation between him and Howard at the end of it. She says she can find him all if we have this equipment. Do we have it all? No, we have about half of it. Well, then send out more people to find what she needs. So yeah, I mean, they are out there scavenging.
Which is crazy also to me because go send more people to find these things, but you're not letting anyone in. And people don't come back sometimes.
Mhm.
People die and you're not like compensating at all for that. Like just send more people. Go.
Yeah.
Be gone.
I
It's
mean, it's
so
pretty. I mean, I mean, and
uh,
he's kind of, you know, um okay, Eric is asking, I'm always curious where they're getting these outfits in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. I'm going to go with museums. They may have even
yeah.
it might have even been there before because Howard was a curator. He's been collecting what he's been considering historical artifacts, so that because he
Well,
felt that
even
they needed to be
outside of
preserved.
that, looking at Arno's outfit, it looked
Mhm.
really, like a thing. Like,
Yeah.
where'd you get that thing from? That's a getup. I mean,
My
he
my
looked real
guess my
yeah.
guess is these are all the people that used to be in the underground bunker. These were Teddy's people.
Oh, they were because at the end, Alicia says,
Mhm.
"Well, they're not my people anymore." So they
Right.
were together at some point.
But I think those
Yeah.
outfits were gotten beforehand because Teddy knew what he was gonna do. So
Mm,
I think that's why they all have very similar kind of out or looks.
mm,
Um,
mhm.
it's because this because Teddy had been planning this for a while.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
know, he was nuts, but, he was a planner. And, so, yeah, I think that's why all their outfits kinda have a similar, feel to them, is because they were probably all, put in the bunker, and that's why they
I
all
mean,
kinda
but
look
they
alike.
especially look like post-apocalyptic. They kinda have, like, Mad Max vibes a little bit,
Mhm.
like
Well, there's a lot of raincoats, you
yeah.
know, and which would make sense, honestly.
But
But,
I don't know, would it makes I don't know. So, whatever, they dress to impress, I guess. They feel like this is gonna protect them to a certain
mhm.
extent. It may or may not.
Well, I mean, depending on the type of material, I mean, that's kinda similar to what they're wearing for, the actual suits that, the radiation suits.
Mhm.
Because the big thing is it's making sure that it's not getting onto your skin.
Right.
That's the important part. So ponchos, those raincoats are a good idea because you can pull your arms in and, it allows the rain or the to particulates to kinda just drop off of you. It doesn't have, as many folds as, say, a coat does.
I don't know,
And,
and then you go and pick up a warhead and start slicing and dicing it.
yeah, I
Does
know, that
that
was
mean
just
the
dumb.
I mean, does the raincoat help you with that? I don't
No.
think so.
No, 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 no. It won't. But I mean, you gotta, because here's the thing. Okay, so these were Teddy's people. Teddy was batshit. A lot of the people that followed him were batshit, and
Yeah.
these are the people that have split off from Alicia, who because she's like, oh no, because they were the batshit of the bunch. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't, I think that I don't think they really don't care much. Again, they're kind of like straining away. We want in, and if you won't let us in, we'll just, you know, we'll screw it up for you too, because if we can't have it, neither can you. Um,
Which, by the way, when Arno, his people, they threw that walker up there. I'm like, oh
mhm.
my God. I'm like, that is crazy. Who is just throwing walkers up against the windows? I'm like, who thinks of that? I'm like, that's kind of cool, but crazy. Definitely crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna say historically that's pretty accurate. I'd like to point out that at one point in our history, in the American history,
I
we
know, but who's
we
gonna think, let me gather the walkers that could bite me, the walkers that could kill me, and like I guess they're bold. They're bolder than me.
well, and again, I mean, in medieval times, setting dead bodies in a trebuchet into a castle, rotting corpses was pretty common. To try and enforce people out because they can spread illness. And
Well,
especially if there's like, a plague or something, hey, look, smallpox on its way. Um, you know, or whatever. And here's the here's the plague. So considering he's kind of said it, I mean, he's made a castle with a moat. They've got a trebuchet sending dead bodies over it. It's pretty historically, accurate. We like to throw things at people. We're like that.
I know. I just can't imagine someone having all the parts to make something like that big that functions that well. It's like where
Trebuchets aren't that hard to make, though. I mean,
where are
depending
you
on how they're
finding it?
a
Bolts, you
lot.
use bolts, don't you?
You can find bolts anywhere.
Big ones? That
Yeah.
was a big thing. It's
I have
huge.
8-inch bolts in my, holding my bed
Okay.
together. They're not that hard to
Yeah, and
find.
what are you gonna do? Get them out with what? A a piece of glass? I don't know, I'm sure there's not, like, high-powered power tools sitting around to get the stuff
No,
out.
but,
I don't know,
a
I'm just
ratchet
saying.
set. It's a ratchet
Girl,
set.
okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
Couple of
whatever.
springs. Springs. Hey, the springs you can get, from old cars. You can get old springs from a whole bunch of different equipment. They could have taken apart an old piece of construction equipment to build a lot of it.
Oh, maybe. But it was
You know.
jarring. It was jarring when that body hit the window, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, shit."
And they were
And
really
then when
lucky that it actually came through the window rather than hitting the side because it had a bomb in its belly. You know?
well, and then he had some with the stuff that's gonna affect everyone. So he had bombs that would, like, go off, and
Uh-huh.
then, of course, he had, like, the the stuff from, the missile that will make everyone sick. So it's not just the bomb, you make
Mhm.
everyone that doesn't die from the bomb sick as hell.
Did you did
So
you also notice this? So when that zombie landed in the middle of Strand's study, Morgan was more than capable of taking care of it, but he stepped back and said, "Strand, you gotta take care of this."
I know. I would
Which
have
I
too. This your place, you deal with it. You clean up the mess, it's your place.
yeah. Because again, I mean, Morgan was completely and that was before they really knew that there were bombs in their belly. But no, Morgan took a step back and went, "Nope. Yeah, I ain't doing it."
Well, he claimed that the first Arno claimed that the first couple that he sent were clean
Mhm.
until the one that wasn't, right?
Right.
Which he said was in reaction to seeing the sniper on the roof.
Right.
So the first couple, I think it was two, the first two were just plain old walkers, supposedly. And then he sent one with the bomb after seeing the sniper as a warning.
Yeah.
And I
Now
guess
I
he didn't, yeah.
now I will say that if they had not I if that zombie had not hit the glass, Strand would be dead. Because I don't know if you noticed or not, Strand only got one sip, I mean, a small sip, and it was interrupted when the zombie crashed through the window.
Mhm.
So,
That's
yeah,
why he's alive, honestly, because he
that's
didn't
the
have a
only
chance
reason
to
he's
down him.
alive.
Yeah.
Because if Strand had drank that whole glass, I'm sure he'd be dead.
Mhm.
And here's the thing, I can't even really disagree with Morgan's assessment.
No, Strand is absolutely off his rocker right now. He's
Mhm.
like, he is a villain right now. He's not
Well, I mean,
someone who's led astray. He's a straight up villain.
right, and I mean, and again, I know, because if Morgan went there because the baby was sick and they don't have a doctor and they know he knew something was wrong with her but didn't know what. And you know how deeply he feels about this baby right now. Um if the fact that Strand went, F you, I don't care if your kid dies, go. I'm pretty sure that was probably the final push for Morgan. He's going to
Absolutely.
hoard resources. He's going to keep people apart. He's hurting people. Morgan knows he is hurting people.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, I could see, taking and Strand has done a lot of what are questionable things, even when he was supposedly a good guy, you know?
Mhm.
So I can't honestly say that Morgan was wrong in his assessment.
No, I almost wish he had succeeded, honestly. I'm like,
Yeah.
that would have been wild. Um, but of course, everyone loves, Coleman Domingo, so they don't want him gone. But I mean, for the character deserves to die. The character
Yeah.
deserves it.
Well, and I think there's also, even though he didn't die, it did, and Morgan was the bad guy in this case. It did show a lot of cracks in what is going on in how Strain has things set up. Number one, he is so paranoid. He's the only one in charge. No one can do anything, nothing without his okay. They were paralyzed when he was out for 10 minutes. No, you can't do that. We can only do that if Strand says so.
But honestly, this
You know,
failed attempt has made him even more controlling,
right.
more
And more
suspicious,
paranoid.
more paranoid. So I don't think he's gonna be like, "Oh, let me fix what I'm doing so we can
No,
live."
no, no, no.
He's
He
gonna
is
be
gonna
like,
he's gonna
right,
double down. But here's the thing. I mean, he lashed out at Howard. Howard's like, I've been here since the beginning. And
right,
Strand's like, yeah, and you
yeah,
know, and y- and you could see Howard took a step back. Wait, and you could see that a lot of people were questioning. Wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't be so centralized with only Strand being in charge. And the fact that it was Morgan and he never once suspected Morgan, not once. So, you know Strand right now is gonna be second guessing himself all over the place. And he's
And
already
he
announced,
said
"I
it.
don't trust anybody now."
Anybody. Yeah, and he said it. He said, "If I was wrong about Morgan, who else was I wrong about?"
And he looks straight at Howard, right in the
Yeah.
eye, you know,
Mhm.
and Howard's like, "Dude," you know?
Karina says, "Howard, you found out you're not special."
That's right, you
You
know?
can go down like everybody else, sir.
Mhm. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's you know, although I gotta tell you, all things being equal, if I had been if since Morgan had already gone ahead and, poisoned him, um, when he was there alone, he coulda just flipped him right over the edge of that elevator shaft.
Oh, I know.
Then
He
again,
coulda, yeah,
but I'm
I don't
wondering,
know.
at that point, obviously, Morgan had second thoughts, and I think what it was is the fact that he had handed the baby down to him, you know? And so I guess Morgan had gave him a moment of redemption.
And I feel like sometimes that's Morgan's problem. Like, you
No follow
are
through?
not fully, yeah, you're not fully committed, right? You have this
Right.
idea, but someone shows you a sliver of hope that they're not an absolute monster, and
Mhm.
you do a reversal of plans, and then you're sorry for it.
Yeah. And and right now Morgan is obviously going to be very sorry.
Yes.
Um because he lost the baby. He lost Mo. He lost Grace.
Oh
He's
my
kicked out
god,
of the
right?
tower.
Yeah.
Um Strand will never let him back in. Never.
Over his
Um
dead body,
yeah.
basically.
And he's already told and he told Strand who he found, who he's gathered up. And but now then again, at the end of the episode, he finds Alicia. And that was that
Does.
was, Strand and Morgan's bonding moment before the big reveal, over her. Go find her. She may not want to see me, but she'll want to see you. I know you can find her. So, he'll be in something of a quandary if Morgan shows up with with her now.
And that's what's gonna happen. Eventually, they're gonna come together again, and Alicia's
Mhm.
gonna be with Morgan, and Strand will have a conniption.
Oh yeah. Although I gotta tell you, there at the end, all right, when he's like, "Bring me the baby." Um, were you creeped out? Well, a father should,
Yes.
I'm her father
Look,
now. Yeah,
Howard's like, "What? Excuse me?" He's
yeah,
like, "Why do you I didn't think you liked kids." And he's
yeah.
like,
Well,
"Oh, and she's gotta learn her new daddy." I'm like,
mhm.
"Oh,
And
no."
the only reason he's doing that is because he wants to hurt Morgan. The
Yeah.
reason he's doing 90% of everything is because whether Morgan knows it or not, he is trying to hurt him,
Oh,
you know?
Morgan knows it. He knows it. That's why he told Grace not to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because he knew that once they came in there, it was going to be a shit show. Like he was trying to hurt him, and he
Mhm.
always is.
Yeah.
So he knows it.
And so yeah, I mean, I don't Strand doesn't give two shits about this kid. He doesn't. Um, but if it will make Morgan unhappy, if it will hurt him to see this baby call him daddy, after Morgan has told him this is my daughter, this is my child, you know,
Yeah.
and you know what Strand's gonna try next, and he's gay. He's gonna try and get Grace.
Oh my gosh.
Because I think
No, don't do
he
it.
is
He not
that
gonna make a
petty.
play for Grace. No
He is
way.
that petty. He is that petty.
But guess what? Grace is not a dummy. She not going for it. She don't care.
No.
She don't care about
No, but
him.
I could see him but again, I mean, he he told, Morgan straight up he would withhold medical help for the baby. That he would do bad things to people if Morgan didn't do what he wanted. So I could see him using those exact same techniques on Grace,
Yeah.
manipulating her by, threatening to hurt the baby, to toss it off the wall, to,
Constantly. That is gonna be his, his thing with her the entire time she's there. Don't do anything I say, step out of line, go against me at all,
Mhm,
and this baby gonna have problems. So, yeah, that's totally
mhm,
something he would do
mhm.
and not feel bad about it.
And I gotta tell you, there was, what, maybe 2 seasons ago? It was before they found Virginia. I had
Mhm.
this moment of hope for Strand, where I thought maybe he had seen the light, so to speak. Not that he would ever be a good person, okay,
Uh-huh.
but that he would be a decent person. Someone with, if he was couldn't be good, he could at least be just or moral. He'd have a set of ethics to follow. And you kinda saw that for this brief window of time, and then Virginia showed up. And that was
Yeah.
the end. That was the end of any hope for Morgan, or for Strand. The end.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, I wish there was, and I see that there's a lot of people that love him as an actor, and hope that, had hoped that he would, you know, not be a terrible person, but no, he is headed down the road towards, the governor, and, the bevy of bad people we've had before. He's the big bad this season,
You know
you
what
know?
though? Even if, like you said, somehow he manages to get Grace to do something, even if he somehow manages that, honestly, Morgan isn't gonna he's gonna care, but he's gonna understand the situation, right? He's gonna
Mhm,
know that, yes, it hurt him, but guess what? He'll get over it if Strand somehow manages to make something like that happen.
mhm.
Um, and then of course Morgan's just gonna be like, I'm gonna murder you. Tomorrow you're gonna die, and he'll be gone because you cross so many lines and someone will kill you. That's
And
all.
Morgan already tried, and we already know that Morgan is not inherently a bad person,
No,
you
he
know?
tried and changed his mind because he had an opportunity to take him out again while he was unconscious.
Mhm,
He could have just offed him and been done with it.
exactly. Yeah, and I
So,
really think, like I said, I think that there was I think Morgan was angry when he went in there, and he had it, and it was the combination of, he initially turned away, the baby, and,
mhm,
Morgan had no idea what was wrong with her, and an ear infection can kill. Infections can kill. I mean, not, she could have gone deaf. A number of bad, the infection could have spread to her tonsils, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's infections aren't anything to mess with.
yeah,
And, so the fact that Strand basically couldn't even take pity on a baby, all right, would have already set Morgan off. But
mhm,
then, getting in there and seeing that the wall of dead, and I wonder how he would, and the thing of it is if he knew, if he had run into, Dwight, and Sherry beforehand, and they told him about the pictures that his bounty hunters take of people that they
mhm,
kill, I think that would have been just, the end.
yeah,
But he's looking at that wall in that same way that they did, which was, this is horrifying. This is
yeah,
weird. And and it, and like them, he was there, during the whole savior thing. And so he can see where Strand is going, what kind of a person he is becoming. He's becoming a Negan,
Oh my
and he's
god. And honestly, I feel like because of his, like, explosive speech, when he was saying all the things he did,
uh-huh.
he's poked holes in his own ship. Like, for
Oh, yeah.
example, when Wendell's like, "You did what? Why would you do,"
Oh,
he comes out
yeah!
about his sister. It's
He's like,
like
"You knew
every
that I turned your
very
sister away. You did what?"
yeah. Yeah, everyone's hearing what he's done. They're all
Mhm,
standing there like, "What's going on?" I mean, he has poked holes in his own ship because he
mhm,
has lost it. He is so enraged.
yeah, and he was spilling secrets he had no intention of sharing, and he's spilling them to
Mhm.
everybody, and they're all going, "Hello?" You know?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
lashing out at Howard. Howard's trying to reassure him, "I've been here since the beginning. I'm here for you." And he's like, "Oh, I don't trust you either. It could
All
be
it's gonna
you."
take all it's gonna take is Howard and a couple of, the people we know from the crew.
Mhm,
Let them start talking and be like, Strand is volatile. He can have us killed up in here. And they
mhm,
try to overthrow his ass.
yeah,
Like it wouldn't take much, honestly.
mhm. Now, since we did find Alicia, um, w and she was intent on finding, um, H not Howard, sorry, Morgan, uh, so she has a specific want for him, you know what I mean? Aside from just finding out if he's alive or not. And so I've gotta wonder if, 1, she knows where Padre is, or she's hoping that he knows where Padre is, or perhaps the secret of Padre might actually be in the sub and he's just completely unaware of it. Um,
Okay, so I saw this thing and I don't know if it was in the preview for next week. I don't know where I saw it, but we could talk about it next week when it comes
that's fine.
out. But I'm not sure if she is first on her mind, Padre. I know she said my people need a place to live, right?
Right.
So uh, I don't know. And I don't know why she thinks Morgan would just know all the places to live. I don't know.
Well, like I said, it's always possible that she's thinking that he might have the missing piece of the puzzle. I'm not
Mm,
sure.
mhm. Mm.
Um, and I'm probably way off base on this one, but my first thought when I saw her is she's pregnant.
Oh god, she could be pregnant by that guy
Yeah.
who showed up in the first episode and was murdered.
Mhm. Which would make sense on why they spent so much time showcasing him in that first episode.
Oh, I hope she's
And
not pregnant. Like, why? Okay, so this is a pet peeve of mine. Like, why do we always need to throw pregnancies and stuff to like as a plot device? Like, can we stop doing that? Like, some shit doesn't need a pregnancy.
no,
It
it
just
doesn't, but
doesn't.
I can see. And I could be wrong. It could just be, she has some bulk or something in front of, but the front of her outfit was pretty round.
Yeah, but it's also bulky. I don't know. Maybe you're
Yeah.
right. I don't know.
And
I don't.
so,
Ugh. I hope
because
not.
here's the thing, sometimes, I've been right, a little over half the time. One time I'm like, "She's pregnant," and it turned out she was over, The Walking Dead. The actress was pregnant in real life,
Yeah.
but not on the show. I'm like, "She's pregnant," and I got that one, just got it wrong, um,
Yeah.
show-wise. But yeah, so, I mean, I can see, because again, that would make sense on why they spent so much time on that first episode,
Mhm.
um, dedicated to him, because that would then, I mean, there is that connection back to Alicia, but
Yeah.
I think that it would make him more significant at that point. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I had a feeling like he had something to do with Arno. And that's why he was kicked out. He had something to do with him, or he tried to help him, or he took sides with him, or
Yep.
something happened, and that's why he was kicked out.
Right.
And he
So it's
regretted that.
yeah. So I don't know. I guess again, we'll have to wait and find out. But I could see, um, Karina knows something, and she's just put three little zippy faces.
Yes. Yes,
Thanks,
she's
Karina.
good. You're good,
Thanks.
Karina. Keep it tight. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm
Yeah.
curious. Um, so anyway, but yeah, so I mean, and I love how her people did not listen to Morgan. Don't shoot, you know, and they went
Yeah.
ahead and blew up all three of those zombies. And
Uh he's trying to help you, but y'all not listening. Y'all
no
not
one's
listening.
listening. You know,
Yeah.
well, and I did find it kind of weird too that, I mean, the fact that Dwight and what's her name didn't tell Morgan who she was. "Oh, the leader wants to see you. Oh, I'll go see him now. It's a her." Didn't say, "Alicia wants to see you."
Yeah, it's really weird. So then
That's
that makes me
weird.
wonder what happened between the time that, they were ordered, basically ordered, y'all gonna help us find
Mhm,
Padre. And now, like, cause they seem very loyal to Alicia,
mhm.
and it seems like they would have more loyalty to Morgan versus Alicia. But, whatever happened, they didn't want to spill the beans for whatever reason. I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, I did find that kind of now as soon as they said her, I'm like, "Oh, that's Alicia. It's gotta be
Yeah, that's
Alicia."
what I thought too. I'm like, oh, it's
Um,
Alicia.
but again, it's odd that they didn't say, "We found Alicia. She wants to see you." You
Hmm.
know?
Or she found us, rather.
Or, yeah, she found us. And they've been with and he did say that they'd been with them for a couple of weeks. So,
Hmm.
time has been, so there has been some passage of time here. So,
Yeah.
that kinda helps me along a little bit. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks. Alright, cool. So we got some frames of reference going on now. Um,
I I just think it's so nuts also that, Dwight and Sherry, they just walking around on their horses. Oh, and what happened to the other girl who joined them? What happened
yeah,
to
I know.
Mickey? Like,
I
she
want
just gone.
I well, she might be in that crowd somewhere. We don't I
She
mean, a
might
lot of
be.
and I mean, I know that they said that she was gonna be back.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
I
know, but they just send them off on their little horse team. They got their little get up and they like just go around finding everybody like a bunch of sleuths or something. It's so weird. I'm like,
desperados.
yeah,
They have a very desperado feel to them, don't you think? You
yeah,
know?
definitely. But
So
like, hey, go get me Morgan. Go find Morgan. Okay, we off. Okay, here he is. He's just like just serve people up on a platter. I don't know. I
well, I mean,
guess.
that's what they were kinda doing anyway. I mean, before I mean, when they found, the bride, I mean,
Yeah,
that was, kind of that whole thing. I mean, they have been fighting people. So
yeah, it's
and
weird.
trying to keep, things lawful, I guess. Um, so yeah, it's not it's kinda weird, but, like I said, the big weird sticking point to me was why they just didn't say, "Alicia's looking for you."
Yeah, there's some, holes in the plot, but okay,
Mhm.
no problem. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what the mid-season finale holds next week.
Yep.
It
I might
should be
watch it tonight.
interesting. I know, girl, right? I know. I'm like really tempted to watch both shows tonight. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't know if I will, but
and then just kinda, brush up on them again on, Sunday or Monday.
because there's
Um,
nothing else to watch after we're done. So,
yeah, I know.
yeah, yeah. Well, let's switch on and go on to the World Beyond because that was interesting this week.
Yeah, I again, I've actually enjoyed the last couple of episodes, but again, things have been happening. Okay,
Hmm.
it's not centering on teenage drama. I mean, there's been things happening. We've been finding out more information. We've been, they've been blowing things up. I thought the rolly ball of the world was a little over the top, but it was kind of fun, you know.
Hmm.
But
That was fun. I'm like, look at them in there. I'm like, okay, yeah. There was a lot of stuff like going on in this. There was a lot of stuff going on in this episode. And can I just say, like we talked about this, what, 2 episodes ago? But these sisters being like perfect shots now, they just be shooting
yeah,
people. And I mean, the way that the one sister, she holding the gun, like, I know what I'm doing. I'm like, girl, that stuff is hilarious to me, but I let it go. I go with the flow of the action.
mhm,
But them all of a sudden, well trained, know how to shoot everything, stabby, stabby, the whole nine. I just
yeah.
can't with all of them. They're all experts now.
Well, they've been out of the world now, so
Yeah.
I did, I did kind of find it interesting. You could see Hope was having these moments of doubt. Not
Yes.
I don't think it was so much. not against the plan, but, um, the fact that she knew that they were bringing zombies in, to this community and, really disrupting things, and I think she was feeling a little guilty about it because, they are essentially doing to the CRM what the CRM did to, the college campus, you know? But
Yeah.
you could see that by the time she left with, what's his name? And they went down to the where all the gas was being held,
Yeah.
by the time that scene had ended, all doubt she had was like, "Nope, it's gone," especially when she saw the doctor,
Yeah, I
you
feel like
know?
yeah, that doctor was like the turning point, especially when she had to just keep smashing her head to get
Mhm.
to, like, take her out. Like, dang, you can't even just stab him because she's frozen. She's like, "Smash, smash, smash," and after
Yeah.
that, she was like, "I'm over this. It's like, it's done. We're done."
Mhm.
And the very last straw was when that kid that she thought would, understand, they started to tell them what's happening. What was the kid's name?
Yeah,
The guy in
the
charge
colonel's
of,
son.
yeah, Mason. So when he's like acting a fool, she's like, "You're just like they said. You're not different from anybody else. Y'all
Yeah.
all smoking something." Basically, she's ready to kill him. She was ready to
Yeah.
take him out.
Well, and here's the thing, Mason heard Jada say, "We killed him. It was
Yeah,
tactical," you know?
absolutely.
And okay, and here's the thing, predictions can be wrong, and if they really if these communities are so dependent on the CRM, there are ways other than killing them. They could force them to be more independent. They
Mhm.
could withdraw some of the help. They could say, "Okay, here is your 5-year plan," or whatever. The with so few humans, the plan shouldn't be, "Oh, let's kill off 10,000 of them because, they're inconvenient."
Oh my gosh, right?
You just they can't, there's not enough humans. There's just,
Yeah.
I mean, minimum population for for viable, you know, long-term viability is 6,000. But at 6,000 people, that is a lot of inbreeding.
Oh god.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
You know, and that's why, a lot of, a lot of or communities or cultures that, are very small, they have these rules and, men have to go out and find brides or brides have to go out and find, husbands outside of the group. Because, genetics are a bitch. And they don't you can't reason with them. So the smaller the population, the bigger chance of us, having problems just being human, hemophilia comes to mind. Um, and those are things from small populations. So by them just unilaterally deciding, nope, everyone's going to die except for the CRM because they're all inconvenient is very short-sighted. It's very short-sighted.
It exposes another huge plot hole. Like, you can't explain to me why having a bunch of people die and possibly turn, especially at this point where you've killed your lead scientist on this project.
Mhm.
The other scientist you wanted to work has said, "F you guys, I'm out of here," and took the rest of the scientists. So,
Mhm.
what is the point of going to kill all those people anymore? Why are you still on that? Let it go. Like, I don't
Well, what
understand.
Jadis isn't a person to let things go. Let's start
But
there.
it's like
Um
if she's thinking about the CRM and what's great, the greater thing for the civic republic in general, if you're
Mhm.
drinking the Kool-Aid, quote unquote, then you should want a better plan and let's just go kill a bunch of people and not have anything for it, not have any
Right.
data or anything out of it. You're just gonna
Right.
do it?
Right. I mean, well, and I mean,
She's
here's the
not a
thing though.
hothead.
Well, no, but I mean, even at the beginning, I mean, the whole thing with killing all those people, while according to them, their sacrifice, was meaningful, it wouldn't have been unless the doctor that they killed, what's her name? She's the one that insisted, "Hey, let's at least make, let's collect some data points. Let's find out, this, and this." Otherwise, because they were just gonna kill him either way. It had nothing to do with
Mhm.
science. It had everything to do I mean, I guess their predictions could be considered science, but okay. Honestly, our math right now is not that good on predicting things like this. We're just not. We're not there yet.
Exactly.
Um, and
There's
so,
no
I
new
mean
breakthrough, there's no new data, so why do it?
right. And,
I don't
so,
know.
and the fact that Mason heard her say, "Yeah, we killed all those people. We're gonna kill Portland. We're gonna kill everyone that isn't the CRM because they're too much of a drain on us. Because this is our future. Only we deserve to make it. We are the master race kind of
Yeah,
thing."
right.
Bleh. And and she's like, "We saved 10,000 children and we saved all the smartest people." Um, okay. Uh
Right.
Yeah, I'm and especially the way Jadis is kinda acting and stuff, I'm going, "Nazi much?" You
Mhm.
know? Um,
Mhm.
so, yeah, I'm just saying, um, stupid white people, and,
And
um
I mean, honestly, so a after and also when Percy got shot in the head,
yeah,
that was like one more layer, like, you really don't give a shit. I should kill you, like,
yeah. I mean, and
Lord
you could
knows that Hope not Hope, but Iris wanted him dead,
mhm,
surely, but she stopped her from killing him.
yeah, but I gotta say, I mean, Jadis has I actually listening to her and this whole thing and her complete obsession, I mean, she has gone beyond drinking the Kool-Aid at this point. I mean, this is she's gone a step beyond, "I'm a cult follower." And,
Mhm.
in that in a way, it kinda surprises me because Jadis was, an independent thinker. She was weird, but for her to, you know be quite this. It is a little bit disconcerting. Not surprising, but it is disconcerting that
Well, Jadis from the Junkyard was a long time ago.
yeah. And there is that. So yeah, it's pretty this episode, like I said, I mean, there lots of bangs, lots of booms. Um
I mean,
I
even Jennifer, like, she shocked me. Like, dude, you had a chance to shoot her in the head and you didn't do it.
yeah. I
Why didn't
you
you kill her? You could have killed her.
yeah, but I really think I'm not sure she could. I mean, this is they she did train Jadis. She has this connection to Jadis, and I don't think she was quite there yet to quite sever that,
Well,
you
that's too
know?
bad because she's past the point of no return and she knows it.
Yep.
She knows it. And, Jace was like, oh, I'll give you, 5-10 minute head start. She knows Jadis won't hesitate to kill her.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm like, why? Oh, come on. Stop being this weakling. You just shot those other two guys real fast. You went boom, boom, point blank. They had no problem.
Yeah, but, she may or may not have had any connection to him. It's hard to say.
I get it. I understand having a connection to somebody, but if it's me or you, it's a me or you situation.
I know.
I'm the one walking away from it. I don't care if we had a relationship 10 years ago when I trained you or however long it's been in their
Mhm.
world.
Well,
Still
and
gonna kill you.
you can see that from the conversation that Jadis never actually did trust Jennifer the whole time. That
Yeah,
she was
exactly.
she the even so, like, when Huck was like, "I'm gonna go and get in uniform, and I'm, gonna, try and get in the helicopter or whatever to do that things," and Jada's like, "Nope, you're staying." She was really keeping Jennifer close,
Mhm.
and it turns out because, her mom had
She
some
didn't trust
doubts
her.
and Jadis didn't trust her. So,
Mhm.
everything had excuse me, everything had been a test, and ultimately, she failed. Um,
She failed several times over. I feel like she failed in killing. She should have just killed her. She should have killed her. There's one more episode left. That would have been so shocking and so, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
I don't
but
know. Hopefully she'll die anyway cuz I feel like Jada's. better not make it out. If she make it out, she better show up in the movies. If she make it out and don't show up in the movies, that's gonna be a waste. If she makes it out of this series alive.
Yeah. Now, I do wanna so, you know, the boys went and they got antibiotics and stuff for Jennifer's husband, and I'm I'm kinda thinking he's dead now.
I think so. Although we didn't see it, the way she was crying, I'm like, he must be
Mhm.
dead.
Yeah. I mean, she was upset before, don't get me wrong, but I think she had it in her head, her and her husband could finally be free, they could finally be together, they could start over anywhere else. Um, and but when we next saw thank you, Cleo, it's Dennis. But the last scene we have with her, or the second to last scene, she's got her face up against um, uh, the wall and she's crying, and I'm thinking, "He
He's
died."
dead. Yeah, that's what I think too. He must be dead. He had to,
So
or yeah, because why else would she be crying like that?
mhm. I mean, it's possible she's crying for everything that she lost because she has lost a lot. She's lost her mother, she's lost her
Mhm.
community. Everything uh everything that she's kinda hung her entire sense of self on is gone, and, so, I mean, I can see her, being upset, but I am kinda thinking, I think he's dead.
But see, in that same respect, though, she's able to pull her shit together one more time,
Mhm.
see the bigger picture. She's like, "You still, hey guys, y'all still got those bombs? You still got that
Like,
C4?
"Still got it?" And
It's a little something, something over here."
yeah, I need you to come here. We've got some stuff that we need to
Yeah,
discuss and blow up.
yeah. So she cried for her little 5 minutes and she carried on.
Mhm. Although it does kinda surprise me because it's there on the compound that Dennis didn't notice him bringing in all those storage containers, unless he thought they were there for something else, but the fact that they were refrigerated is kind of weird.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
because that's
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
containers, I mean, you don't move those quickly.
No, and it's hard to miss. I mean, look at them. They were huge and lots of them. Not 2 or
Mhm.
3, like
Yeah,
rows.
hundreds,
Yes,
hundreds of them.
right.
Because when they were, in the cold room, we had seen a picture, they'd shown it to us before, but it had all the canisters in there, but now that it's empty, you can see how big of a hanger that was. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a big it had to have been a big operation, you know? So, I hope they brought a lot of C4.
Oh, I hope they did. I mean, because it's gonna need, I don't know how they were carrying it. I don't
It's
know
in the
how they're gonna,
backpack.
I know,
It's in
but
the
what,
backpack.
that's, it's not feather light. How much can you carry? Enough to blow up hundreds of containers? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think she's got enough. I mean, she's got well, the stuff I mean, the gas is volatile, and that's part of the reason why they keep it cold is because when it's not cold, it's volatile. So, in theory, if she while waiting for them, if she turns off all those coolers, um, it would make it a lot easier for things to go boom.
And then you have to be
But they
away
can't I mean,
from
but
it.
here's the thing, that gas, okay, we
Yeah,
know it's deadly, so they can't be
right.
anywhere around it.
No, they gotta be gone. Like,
They
I
gotta
don't
be
know how many
gone.
miles away they need to be, but they need to be far.
Mhm. Run into the wind.
Yes.
Not with the wind.
Right. So, I don't know, I feel like, in the finale, there's gonna be some more people dying, which makes sense to me. It makes sense. I feel
Mhm.
like everybody can't make it out, and, yeah, Percy died, but he wasn't a part of the original group. I feel like
Right.
someone from the original group is gonna die. I don't know who. Somebody. Um, maybe one of the adults, maybe Jennifer, maybe
Hope.
Jennifer sacrificed herself because, hey, what she got left? I don't
I could
know.
see Hope too. I could
Oh,
see it being
that's a
hope.
shame.
I know, I'm just saying, I could see it being hope.
Mm,
The ideal is to, sacrifices herself to save everything.
mhm. Maybe.
Although and now here's the thing, that is a lot of gas. Okay, and we
Mhm.
were just talking about the wind, and that compound is not far from the CRM's main base, and, so when that thing goes boom, it could take out the entire that entire research facility,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
unless the wind's
Hope
blowing the other way.
I mean, hope everyone that they wanted to get, they have gotten in those vans and, maybe Felix is able to get there and help him with that tire
Mhm.
and get out of there because they're not gonna have a lot of time.
No, and I don't know what the distance is, and again, like I said, a lot of it'll depend on how the wind and the velocity and stuff like that, but, yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere. I would be miles away if possible. Miles and miles away
Now,
if
what would
possible.
be hilarious and the biggest plot hole is if they blow everything up and they stand there and watch it burn. You'd
That would just
be
be
like, "What is
dumb.
happening? What is happening?"
That would just be dumb.
I mean, honestly, this show has done dumb stuff, so I wouldn't be completely surprised.
Mhm.
So,
So,
I
but
don't
like I
know.
said, at least the, last couple of episodes, I mean, obviously there's a lot of still big plot holes, and it's still not great, but it has been eminently watchable the last
Mhm.
couple of episodes, but again, they're doing something, and the the first season and a half was just those that could have been taken care of in, like, 2 episodes, 3 episodes, honestly. And it said,
That just shows
"No."
you how much filler they had in these 2 seasons.
Yeah. It was almost all filler. I mean,
Mhm.
because we really didn't start finding out about anything, until about well, we found out about Jennifer, she wasn't Huck. Um, but that was really the only big reveal that we had all of last season. That was it. That ta-da. And then the very last
Yeah.
episode where they showed Will being
Right.
alive.
Right.
But I mean that's it. There was
Mm.
nothing else. That the entire season it was just them wandering the countryside being stupid.
Yes.
And
So, let me share about this comment right quick. So, Karina says, "Watch tonight, World Beyond has an after credit scene." Now,
mhm.
I avoided spoilers, but I saw a few headlines where people talking shit about that after credit scene. I'm like, "Oh no." One thing I saw said, "Why did they even do that? What if?" I'm like, "Oh no." So I don't know what the after credit scene had, but I'm like, "Oh, it seemed like some people weren't there for it." I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh
Well,
well."
I guess I can watch it tonight, Karina. I might just do
Yeah.
that.
I maybe I'll watch that instead of Fear because it's a little bit late. I'm on
Yeah.
East Coast time. So um yeah, but I heard like some people were not for it. So I
Hmm.
don't know. Gotta
Karina says
see.
it was good in all capital letters.
Yeah.
So,
Um Caesar, yeah, we're talking about the finale of the series.
mhm.
The series finale. Next that airs up this upcoming Saturday, but if you have Premiere Plus or whatever it's called, then
AMC
it's available.
Plus.
Yeah, AMC Plus,
Mhm.
it's available now. It was
Right.
available yesterday actually. So people
Mhm.
have watched it.
So, yeah.
So, yeah.
And Karina has obviously watched it.
Oh, of course she did. We know she did.
At
Oh,
least she's
Erica
good at
says I was disappointed with the scene. Hmm.
oh.
Okay.
Alright, now we've
You'll
got
either love it or hate
or
it,
hate it.
Caesar says. Hmm.
Alright, I
Okay,
guess
well,
you
we'll
know what
see
we're
where
doing
we
tonight.
yeah, we'll see how we weigh in after we watch the end credit scene.
Right.
So,
Although we should
oh my
probably not talk until Monday because we don't
yeah,
wanna, color each other's views.
I
Just
agree because we both have strong opinions about stuff.
we
So,
do. We really
yeah.
do.
Mhm.
Alright.
Interesting.
So So yeah,
Hmm.
I think, like I said, I think it was, the overall the episode was eminently watchable. I'm
Mm,
rather glad that we only have one episode left. Now, I will
mhm.
say, if they had done they had done the last like 4 or 5 episodes all through the season, or the last, since the show started, I never would have complained as I don't think either one of us would have complained as much as we have,
No.
throughout it. So I mean, yeah, they really, honestly, I really think they missed a golden opportunity here, because they were like, "Oh, we're just worried about that last 2 episodes, next season. Everything else is, we'll get there eventually." And I think that
Yeah.
was kind of the problem with this show, that they knew what the ending was, but they had no idea what the middle was.
Yeah.
The
Honestly, it could have been a one season thing.
Yeah. Because
Um,
I mean, I
yeah.
remember, like, the first episode was good. You and I both agreed the very first episode was good.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're just like, "What is going on here?" And
What
that's all we
happened?
Yeah, and then that's all we said for,
Yeah.
the last season and a half. What
Yeah.
happened? So, yeah, I think they had a good beginning, and they knew what the end was gonna be, but I don't think they gave enough thought to the middle part,
I
which was
agree.
dumb, because they could have done so much more with it, you
Yeah, I
know?
agree with you. I haven't felt this happy for a series to be ending in a long time. I'm
Mhm.
like, thank goodness it's over. I'm ready to be done with it, even though the last couple episodes have been good. I'm still ready to be done with it. I'm ready to put
Yeah.
it down.
And because they could have done if they were gonna spend all that time with the kids traveling, they could have met other groups. They could have run into marauders. They could have run into someone in Morgan's group briefly.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there was just all these missed opportunities that they could have done things with, and they just chose not to.
Mhm.
And, instead, just we watched them traipse clumsily through the Midwest.
Yikes. There is something that Karina said right here. Even Nico said on The Talking Dead last night that Jadis elevated the show. And you know what? I
Mhm.
think that Jadis's part in that show did. Like things, it just happened to be when she was there, things started picking up. The pace started getting
Yep.
interesting. I think the woman who plays Jadis is very good. She added a different like personality kind of,
Mhm.
she just
Yeah.
added something.
Well, and we were, and especially for those who watch The Walking Dead, we're all familiar with who Jadis is. She was a huge part of, 2 seasons,
Mhm.
she was weird, but, we knew who she was, so we had that connect, as soon as she came out, we were like, "Ah, Jadis," you know?
Yes.
So, they didn't have to establish who she was, which helped. But they
Yes.
could've but again, like you said, this could've been a one-season show, or
Mhm.
or they could've given us so much more, and they chose not to.
Yeah, they really did. And I don't know, yeah, I don't know why. Maybe they just weren't that good at writing. I don't I don't know. I don't know where the breakdown was. I wish I did, but I don't know.
Yeah. So
Whatever. It's over now. We got one more and I'm going to watch it probably tonight. As soon as we get off of here, I'm going to go watch it and then I'm going to be like WTF or that was
Uh-huh.
awesome. I don't know which
It's gonna be
way.
something. It's gonna be something.
It's going to be something. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I am. I'm excited. I'm excited either way, no matter what kind of reaction I have. I'm just excited to watch it.
Because it's done.
Yes. Yeah.
Just saying.
I know, right? Ah, okay. I think we're done unless there's something else to cover. What do you think?
I like it. I think we're done. I mean, a lot of things were happening, but we covered all the highlights, all the good stuff.
Yeah. Y'all know everything else that happened because you watched the show. If you listen to us, we know you watched it. So y'all know all the other stuff. We covered the highlights.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you know who I want to live through this whole thing? I really like Silas's character. I really liked him.
I do
If I had to
too.
pick one character that I want to make it out of this series, it would be him. Do you have a character that you would want to make it, just one, just pick only one that you would want to absolutely make it through
Corduroy
the
boy.
Oh yeah, Alden.
Yeah,
Alden. Yeah.
I'd like to see him live.
Yeah. I'll be okay if either one of the sisters, if something happened to them, I would be okay. Either one. I
Mhm.
don't have a favorite. They can both go. I don't know.
I mean, if they both die, I'm not gonna be upset. I'm
Yeah.
seriously not.
Mhm.
So, yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, seems like that's it, y'all. So we will be back here same time next week, and you will hear all of our thoughts on the mid-season finale of Fear and the series finale of World Beyond. You'll hear us either be so excited or talking shit,
Mhm.
what we can be in for.
It
Oh,
should be entertaining either way.
either way. So thanks for checking in, you guys. For those of you in the live stream, appreciate you for being here. Thanks a lot. And we will catch you next week. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.